What famous line from Jaws was completely ad-libbed by actor Roy Scheider? You're gonna need a bigger boat. What was the first word spoken in the Lord of the Rings trilogy? The world. Which actor broke a chair during an improvised scene in Django Unchained? Leonardo DiCaprio. The iconic red pill or blue pill scene in The Matrix was filmed in a real-world location. Where was this scene shot? A deserted hotel. Which classic Star Wars character was originally supposed to be a small green amphibian? Chewbacca. What was used to create the sound of the T-Rex roar in Jurassic Park? A baby elephant and a tiger. The friend's apartment was originally planned to be shared by whom? Monica and Phoebe. What object created the sound of the alien facehugger scurrying in the movie Alien? A hand running over sand. What common product was used as blood in the shower scene of Psycho, 1960? Chocolate syrup. Which GOT character was initially meant to be the main villain for the first 3 seasons? Viserys Targaryen. What common items were famously used to represent the cockpit controls of the Star Wars Millennium Falcon? Scraps of plastic and parts of a World War II plane. Which actor was originally cast as Marty McFly in Back to the Future before Michael J. Fox? Eric Stoltz. In The Office US, what prop was famously difficult to film due to John Krasinski's height? The filing cabinet. What caused the famously awkward atmosphere during the kiss scene in Spider-Man 2002? Rain in a Mask Full of Water. What was the first animated movie to be nominated for a Best Picture Oscar? Beauty and the Beast. Which iconic horror villain was originally planned to wear a yellow jumpsuit? Freddy Krueger. What was the unique characteristic of the typewriter used by Jack Nicholson in the film The Shining? It was an IBM Selectric. Which actor improvised the famous line, "You can't handle the truth," from A Few Good Men? Jack Nicholson. What was the name of the theme park originally planned for the TV show Westworld? Roman World. What common item was used to represent the blue meth that Walter White made in Breaking Bad? Rock candy. In Breaking Bad, what everyday item was used to create the gruesome sound of Gus Fring's face injury? Hitting raw chicken skin. In The Terminator, what was the T-800's endoskeleton actually made of for close-up shots? Foam plated with chrome. What item was famously used to create the sound of the Indiana Jones whip crack? A bullwhip. Which film had its famous "No one puts baby in a corner" line added into the script at the last minute? Dirty Dancing. What caused the famous coffee cup continuity error in Game of Thrones? A mistake by a crew member. The sound of the predator clicking was made using what unexpected object? A piece of dried jerky. In Pulp Fiction, what did the Band-Aid on Marcellus Wallace's neck cover? A surgical scar. Which actress was originally offered the role of Clarice Starling in The Silence of the Lambs before Jodie Foster? Michelle Pfeiffer. What was the name of the fake title used during the production of The Dark Knight Rises to prevent leaks? Skydiver. Which movie's original script featured a famous character surviving the finale but was changed due to test audiences? Fatal Attraction. What was the major prop error that caused a famous continuity mistake in the final scene of Pretty Woman? A pastry change. What type of animal was the basis for the character Groot in Guardians of the Galaxy? A tree. What unexpected visual trick made the TARDIS in Doctor Who seem bigger on the inside? A subtle camera movement trick during the transition. Which legendary director was originally offered the job to direct E.T. the Extraterrestrial? David Lynch. What unexpected method did director Alfred Hitchcock use to hide the microphones in his film Rope? Inside fake water fountains. What item was used to simulate the ET alien's eyes in close-up shots? Doll eyes and a cow's eye. What was the original name of the city in Blade Runner before it was changed to Los Angeles? Neo-Tokyo. What strange condition did the director of The Exorcist impose on the set to maintain the unsettling atmosphere? Always cold temperature. The iconic theme music for the TV show Succession was originally composed for what type of video game? A medieval fighting game. Which actor suffered a real burn while filming the final scenes of the movie Inglourious Basterds? Eli Roth. Which famous actor performed almost all of his own horseback riding stunts in the Lord of the Rings trilogy? Viggo Mortensen. In The Simpsons, what was the name of the fictional town chosen to be deliberately ambiguous? Springfield. The entire script for the first season of Stranger Things was based on an outline of which classic Steven Spielberg film? Extraterrestrial. What was the original color of the famous house in the TV show The Golden Girls painted for the pilot episode? Pink. The famous Titanic drawing scene originally included an unexpected prop. What was it? A potato. The final scene of Reservoir Dogs was supposed to have a different song playing. What was the song? Coconut. Which movie's final scene had to be reshot after the director saw a similar scene in Doctor Strangelove? The Godfather. What item did George Lucas use to represent the lightsaber blade on set while filming Star Wars? A wooden stick. What unexpected advice did Heath Ledger give Christian Bale before filming the iconic interrogation scene in The Dark Knight? Tell me to hit you. What famous movie prop was actually built using old tires and rubber sheets? The head of the Joker, The Dark Knight.